Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Lucci here with at Hit the Bid Radio, Kenny Glick, who is over there getting some light for his shiny ass head. What's going on? What's going on, Kenny? I'm getting there too, man. You give me like another year, man. That's it. I'm done.
Well, what's going on is this is one of those days where me being a trader from home, my wife still doesn't realize that this is a job and that I'm not a fucking chauffeur and that I got to leave. And I was like, listen, I know you don't go down on me anymore, but let's make it better. I was like, at 3:30 when I got to leave for all my errands, I would guarantee the market finally bounces, and this trip I'm about to go on is going to cost me $4,000. I'll make you an oral sex bet. And she wouldn't take it because she knows this.
But you can't approach it like that, Kenny. You know you can't approach it like that, Kenny. You gotta be romantic, man. You gotta do something. Gotta do something, man.
I got a bucket of roofies from romance.
All right, guys. Let's get into this. First, let me get a story here. Did you do anything for Cinco de Mayo, man? Do you do anything for the big Cinco party?
It's funny because it didn't dawn on me till later because, I'm running around with my kids and all that stuff. And I was like, wow, it's Cinco de Mayo. I haven't had a burrito, a taco, or any kind of nachos. I had my son at a baseball game. I wound up getting nachos in a bag with like the microwavable cheese. Just so I could say I had some sort of Mexican. By the way, GMCR, you mother.
Oh, we're gonna get into that. First, let's kill the Cinco de Mayo, dude. I went to this Mexican spot last night, right? It's a restaurant, but they converted to like this little bar, and they have this really like sexy ambiance there. They got that like red light and like just dark atmosphere, So I'm telling you, it was popping. That's why my eyes look like this. Like, I got home at like 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. It's just wasted from like 6 to freaking 4. And I was working this room, Kenny. You would have been so proud of your boy, man. You would have been so goddamn proud, man. It would have brought you back to your old days as a fucking ruffian, as a damn hooligan, man. I was pulling numbers left and right, dude.
Wait a second. Oh, we're live on the air now.
Yes.
I thought you're obviously not married anymore. I thought you were still married.
No, I am a single man, my friend.
Right.
I am a single man. It was great, man. It was great. It's summertime is coming around, man. It's a wonderful time out in the city, man. All right, so let's get into some stocks here. Obviously, we got a lot of earnings here to talk about. First, let's hit it with the GMCR. GMCR here looks like they missed by a couple of cents. Estimates for like dollar and a nickel. They came in at $1.03. This thing opened up at like 90, right? 90 and change. What's it trading now? 95 and a half here. What's your thoughts here on GMCR, man?
I just liked it at 89.50, but due to light speeds ineptitude, I didn't get my print, and now it's up 6 points from that spot. So
indeed,
I am a fan of GMCR up until I read about the microorganisms living in the machines. I don't know if you ever read that article about.
Yeah, they had problems with the Keurig machines. They weren't, there was fears here about all the situation with bacteria building up. People not cleaning these things or whatever.
Right. I mean, I've done enough drugs, and I woke up in a dumpster one time, but for some reason, learning about the microbes living in my Keurig machine, I don't know how I feel. I run hot water through that thing like 6 times before I actually make the cup of coffee. But
right.
You go back 2 quarters, I think it was 3 quarters ago, where they had a terrible number. I never liked this stock over $120, but it went to 160.
Yeah, $160. Yep.
Would have went down that day, except for the Coke investment. Everyone's like, "Oh, if Coke thinks it's a good idea, then it's got to be a great idea." Hey, rich people make mistakes too. Corporations make mistakes also. Hey, Google wanted to buy Groupon at one point. That would have been.
I remember that.
So it's just a very difficult stock to trade. I haven't watched this thing since maybe 120. I thought the stock was going back down into the 80s, and here it is.
Yeah, and these are a lot of these high flyer names that again, these were sort of the Wall Street darlings. Green Mountain was definitely one of them. Whole Foods was definitely one of them, and Whole Foods just posted earnings here, and I believe they missed as well. Stock closed at like 47 and a half, and it's trading 42 and a half. at the close here. So it's looking like EPS 44 cents versus estimates for 43. Looks like they missed a little bit on revenue. But even like little misses now, like they're really shellacking some of these names, man. I mean, you saw last week with what was it, Twitter, and what else do we have? We had a lot of other names, LinkedIn, especially. You saw LinkedIn. I was so happy about that. Guys, we didn't have an episode last week. LinkedIn got fucking murdered, and I'm sitting there watching it reopen at like 200. There was nobody in the puts, by the way, and the money that was made overnight in the options, man, was fucking unbelievable, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, what you just said pretty much sums up the feeling of this market right now. When stocks are taking these big hits on what normally would have been like, whatever, or
right.
they would have sifted through the badness,
right,
and found the gem to latch onto, and the stock would have rallied.
Exactly.
Friend has finally changed, and I know. I mean, listen, I've said this 17 times in the last 3 or 4 years.
We've said it a lot. You and me combined. I mean, I think we're pretty up there, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, and I know it's stupid to say this time is different, but we're still 4 days away off from all-time highs. It was only by 5.
We are not that far away. And if you look at some of the bleeding and some of the weakness that you've seen, like across all the different sectors, especially some of these, especially the Qs, especially some of these high flyer names, like you would think the SPY should be down into the fucking, with 100 handle, like 190s and shit like that, but we're not seeing them come out the indexes that much, but we're seeing less and less places for people to hide. And I think last week, the place to hide was the financials and oil, and now even oil can't keep their rallies, banks can't keep their rallies. So it's like, where are people left to hide in? So I completely agree, the sentiment has changed, and I would say bullishness for now is sort of off the table for chop or further bearishness, I would say. And the chop now is pretty violent, man. I mean, you're talking 20, 30 handles a day. Apple, when have you seen Apple move like 3-4 points in a fucking day, man? You know what I mean? Up and down in a fucking day. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. But great environment for a lot of scalp traders there. Great environment for a lot of scalp traders.
Hey, look, it's a great environment for as long as you don't get trapped on the wrong side. And
you're right, two buys.
My problem was I didn't want to buy puts yet up until it was just like 2 days ago. I finally bought the June 106s on the QQQ. I was like, you know what? If we could just get down to 106, these will probably be up about, maybe 100%, 50%. So that trade worked out. What I've been doing is just really selling calls, thinking that 110, 111 area might be the highs. I know this is what gets me in trouble when you get that double or triple top, and I'll sell calls at those prices up there, and then we just rally for 9 days in a row, and then everything I was thinking goes away. But it seems like now, like we've been saying, sentiment's changing. They're focusing on negatives instead of ignoring and focusing on the positive right now.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All right, so moving on here, we're going to go to Tesla here. Loss of 36 cents a share versus loss of 50 cents expected. Sales were up, revenues were up, and Tesla, surprisingly, even rallying into the damn earnings report, and after hitting 180 about last month, this thing is actually holding up here at around 235, man. What do you make of this fucking Tesla? I personally would love to see this stock back at 160, but looks like I'm going to have to wait around for this. What do you think on this Tesla, bro?
I'm a big fan of Tesla. I love the car. I'm going to own one eventually, whether or not. I just have to do some more research on whether or not.
Yeah, but see, you know what the problem is? You're going to come around and buy this shit when the shit ain't hot anymore, I mean, you're going to be like the last one in. The last one, just like GMCR, bam, you're going to buy the shit when Coke decides it's cool, man. That's what's going to happen to you.
I'm not buying the stock. I'm buying the car.
I'm saying the car. The car is no longer going to be cool because everybody's going to rip it, and Ford is going to readapt, and everybody's going to have the similar type of car. What do you think about that?
You're nuts, dude. Have you been in a Tesla? Have you drove one of these bad boys?
Yo, this fucking shit.
If you want to short the stock right now, it's on the verge of, it's 6 series of new lows.
Yeah, I think the fact that she couldn't get over 240 is still to me kind of weak. But at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know. I mean, who knows with this market? If the market drops out another 400 points, there's no way they're gonna hide in this Tesla. So
No way. If
I'm
this
gonna keep it up there.
this would be a beautiful setup right now. If it could just close, I'm sorry, if it just stays stable now, let's say it opens up and tests that 242 again, doesn't break it, and then rolls over tomorrow.
Dude, I will short the fucking
235s.
I will short the fucking shit out of it, man.
Yeah, totally. But, you gotta love this car. I don't know if you watch. I drive a Challenger now, and I just happened to see it was the Hellcat versus the Tesla, and the Tesla smoked. The Tesla beats every car so far. They do these drag races on YouTube. This car took a Bentley. The Model S took a Bentley in the first half mile. The Bentley eventually caught up in the last half mile, but this smoked the Bentley. It smoked the 780 horsepower Challenger. I mean, it's ridiculous, that car. I mean, I love it. It's just that, how do you have a Tesla as your only car? And my wife drives the Audi, and she's always out. I don't know if I could, I'm not going 250 miles generally, but I gotta learn more. If I could just pull up to my friend's house and just plug it into his garage. If it's
right. And then most of the news recently has all been about the batteries, longer battery life, longer this, longer that. Also incorporating a whole new sort of battery line as far as the revenue stream and things like that. Musk is tweeting right now, max acceleration 6 times gravity. I think he's talking about some space shit. I don't know, this Dragon abort test thing. I don't know. I think, again, just like Apple with the fanboys, you have so many Musk fanboys out here now as well. All right, but moving on, man, let's talk about this epic rant here that everybody's hitting me up. They're like, dude, Hit the Bid here was on on the Reform Broker. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? So I pull up the thing, and you got a shout out here from the Reform Broker. Everybody who doesn't know the Reform Broker, his name is Josh, right? John or Josh?
Josh Brown, yeah.
Josh Brown. He's on CNBC. He's probably one of the only guys that I actually pay attention to simply because of his Twitter feed. Like, when you look at Josh Brown's Twitter feed, he says shit that nobody on CNBC would even say, because he says some outlandish shit. So he still kind of lives in the blogosphere with us, but he's a talking head on CNBC and everything. So he shouted out Kenny here. Why is everybody going nuts over this video, bro? What the hell were you talking about, bro?
I was talking about how insulted I am. Again, you're sort of a closet bear. I'm a closet bear with pessimism of the stock market. So when Alibaba came public, when something's that hyped, I immediately didn't like it. And all I knew from Alibaba was that, when I was buying a USB plug back in the day when they cost like $30, now you can get them on a street corner. But somebody told me to go to Alibaba and that you can get plugs there for like 30 cents, 40 cents.
Right.
And I started learning about Alibaba, and I learned that, you could buy fake Gucci bags. And so I did a little rant and yelling and screaming about how Alibaba, could be going down as the scam of the century. Not that it's not a real company. Again, it's a Chinese company. Do we really know what's going on there? I have no idea. Point being is, everyone's getting all uppity because now it's been unveiled that they're selling fake shit. I'm a fucking idiot on the internet. How did I know? I'm the only guy that knew Alibaba sells fake shit. So I've been a hater of that stock since the day it came out.
Yep.
I just went off on it, and and I was doing a live video because I get a lot of you know how this is.
Absolutely.
You put yourself on the internet, you get all these trolls and these losers. So I was trading live while I was doing the video, and I don't know, everybody got a kick out of it. I'm glad. I'm trying not to do as many videos as I used to, unless I have something something engaging to say.
I found it interesting what you were saying before, guys. We were talking before about doing these videos. It's the same kind of plight that I'm having as far as content and things like that. It's like, there's so much content out there now, and it's so saturated, even in our space, that for us to get motivated to do what we do and everything, like, we have to have a little chip on our shoulder. When I started the site, like, back in 2010, and I just started talking shit about analyst upgrades and downgrades. You know, I was pissed off about it, you know, so it's like doing videos on a regular just about, let's say, the market updates and things like that. Like it gets pretty boring because there's so much saturated shit out here, and now everybody's on Periscope. Have you tried this Periscope bullshit now?
No, but apparently I was a living witness to whatever was going on with the Pacquiao fight. My buddy had it. We had like 10 guys, 15 guys there, and and one of his kids, you know, he's a 16-year-old kid. He was just sitting there with his phone, filming the screen.
Yep.
I was like, what are you doing? You're streaming it to your friends in their house? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh. I was like, that's the most illegal thing in the world, and it's so easy. He's just sitting there doing it. And I was like, they're gonna come after you. Do you have written or contractual consent to distribute this media? He's like, what the hell are you talking about, idiot?
And it's Mayweather, you know, it's Mayweather. Mayweather's coming for his money, maybe. But again, I mean, that's the new thing. That's the new medium. So it's like everybody has this voice out there. And, you know, you come into it's like, and then everybody has this collective voice too, because all it is just a rehash of what somebody else has already said. So you just give your opinion on the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and you just have this shitstorm of crap that it just kind of sits out there. And, you know, just going back to the Baba in general, like, dude, we were talking, remember when this thing got to 120, pulls back to, you know, mid hundreds or whatever, like 110 or whatever. There was so many people just dip buying this thing all the way down, especially now down all the way into the 80s. She's got earnings tomorrow. They've already punked half the longs through $80. And dude, it's not looking good for this thing.
Right. Well, yesterday's trade was pretty awesome, but I mean, 80, I thought 80 would, you know, put up a fight. Not even for a tick. It went right through it, plummeted right down, and somebody made a good point. It hit 7777, which is like a good luck number in China, the sevens.
Oh.
I was like, I'll buy into any conspiracy. When it hit 7777, I was like, you know what? You're right. So I wound up buying it at like 78.25 just for, you know, a quick quarter, and then it wound up going, you know, had a nice day, nice comeback, and then it rebounded a little bit higher today. But man, in the market that we're in right now, if they disappoint, this thing's going to $63.
Absolutely, absolutely, 100%. I 100%. And honestly, like, I think it's already predetermined that it's fucking going down there. Let's change topics here for a little bit. Let's talk about the bond markets here. Also the dollar. Both of these things sort of have been selling off aggressively from their highs. Are you trading the dollar, bonds, things like that? What do you think about these sort of reversals?
I don't look too much of that stuff. I just, you know, watching gold on how it, you know, usually trades with the movement of the dollar. But that's one thing I don't really keep an eye on too much. You know I probably should, but hey man, I got 500 other indicators that I like watching.
Of course. And you know, anybody who trades the bond markets as well, like I usually trade the TLT or the TBT, like these two ETFs. You can get a decent amount of liquidity in the options, and you can get some pretty good moves. Swing moves though, you do have to make sure you're in sort of a trend environment, and we definitely sort of broke down here on both the dollar and the bonds. One would think, you know, the market again would react pretty aggressively, you know, with the move too. But it's still amazing how they're able to hold a lot of the indexes up. I mean, I think SPY has a lot of catching up to do, but I think it's going to be real slow, man. How do you think the rest of the month is gonna go down, and then the summer? You know, what are we setting up for the summertime, bro?
Well, this is why I'm selling calls now. I took the profit on the puts today on the Qs.
Right.
Selling calls is that I think we're just going to tighten this range up.
It's exactly what I was telling my guys today. I think we just shit around. Yes.
Yeah, so then you could start selling the straddles, and you could, you know, sell the puts and sell the calls and just sit and collect some premium and hope nothing black swanny happens. And
You know what the funny thing is? Like everybody in the chat room is like, dude, does this feel like 2007 and 2008? Does this feel like we're gonna crash? Does this feel like blah blah blah? Should I go ahead and buy these puts? And I'm like, bro, the markets never happen the same time or the same way as they did before. You know what I mean? Like right now, there's no real panic out there. You know, as far as macro things or like a real systemic issue like there was in 2008.
Right.
You know, so things aren't really gonna happen like they were before, and everybody's like, dude, let me get puts, and it's crazy. We have a 1% down move in the SPY, and it's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, what are we gonna do? This market, that's it, it's over for this market. But you know, it's very interesting what's happening. Like most of the long bias swings or even short bias swings, you know, they're having a lot of problems. They're having a lot of problems because you can't hold you know, for that much amount of time. You know, you get a 20 handle rally the next day or a gap up that completely screws you. You know,
Right. That's why I didn't want to buy. You know, that's why I didn't want to buy the puts because. But what I did was, you know, I bought some like last week and the week before. The way I looked at it is like I'm buying the June 106 puts on the Qs, right?
right,
Due to the volatility, I was like, you know what? Even if I'm wrong today, 3 days from now, it'll probably revert back to where they were and maybe start breaking down. So, you know, I bought some of the, you know, I forgot what they originally were, but I had all kinds of shit. I had the SQQ and the QID. I was really looking for a sell-off. But, you know, right now, I took it all off the table. I
right.
started selling, what did I sell today? I sold some like August 110 calls on the Qs.
On the Qs, well, how much were those going for? They must have been going for at least $4 or something, right?
That's not that much. I think I got
$2.
269.
260,
I
260.
sold some the other day. I sold some today at 240 and something like that. August 110 for like 250.
Now, do you get more premium on the TQQQ, the Pro Shares one? Do you get more premium on that when you go to the options?
Those move in 5 or 6 point increments every day. The TQQ is just a whole
Right.
different beast.
Right.
The way I look at it is that 110. Well, we hit a 111.10 on the Qs. That might have been, you know, because that day, the second day, we tried to rally. We didn't hold that high, and then we closed negative that day. That's when I was like, all right, maybe we're about to sell off again. You know, and then I waited a day or so. But first thing I did, like I said, I started selling some calls. I mean, I even went out to like December, like 114s. I got like $4 for them. That was a nice trade. Down to
That's interesting. That's interesting. How much, like, are you doing these naked too, bro? Or are you also you spreading them out? You doing credit spreads?
most of it's naked. I mean, I still own the Qs in my long-term account. I'm never selling them. So I'm sort of hedging, but you know, I got about 200 of them out there now, you know, but, you know, I sell right now, like I said, anything above 110, if we're going to rally, I still think we're going to hit that 110 and 111 area and then just drift back down again, just like we've been doing. So as time goes on, you know, they'll all expire worthless. And, you know, that's the trade I have on right now.
No doubt, no doubt. Anything else you got going on the radar? Guys, we are pretty much wrapping up most of the earnings here. There was another one from TripAdvisor, so it's worth it to talk about these travel agencies right now. TripAdvisor came out and beat earnings. This thing is back up to like $80. But if you look at TripAdvisor like over the long term, it still looks like a pretty weak name. The stronger ones are more Expedia and Priceline. Priceline hasn't reported yet. This stock is still being held up very well. The question is what's going to happen here. Expedia, Trip already beat earnings. So I don't know, man. Do you trade any of these? And what's your thoughts here on the travel agencies here?
Well, Priceline, again, it's one of those stocks that when you blink and next thing you know, it's up 300 points.
Yep.
This thing looked like it was finally going to break down and maybe the Priceline story was over.
Yep.
And it rallies 267 points.
And I really thought that Priceline story was over too, man. I even bet that it was, man. I got fucking smoked.
Yeah, I think TripAdvisor is owned by Priceline now, so it doesn't really trade independently no matter what their report is. I think isn't it a done deal? Didn't they buy them?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know though. I don't know.
These guys. I don't know. Let me see what I was buying today. SRPT, a bullshit biotech stock that you know, was left for dead. Looks like it's about to break out. Had a nice day today. Got a couple upgrades. They're expecting some news. Very hard to get options. There's like, I tried to buy some options. They were quarter bid, five offer. Like, I throw some bids in there. I didn't get anything done, so I picked up the stock. And my little SPCB is up 50% since we spoke.
Oh, I remember this stupid thing. I remember this thing. Look at this thing, huh? And you bought it at 8 and change or whatever?
Yeah, like 925, 950.
I don't know where you find this garbage. When are you gonna take on? When are you gonna take this one off?
My guy who everybody's got guys that they trust. I got a friend that's been doing this just as long as I have, and he's given me nothing but winners.
Yeah.
He gave me when bankrate.com, that was his first pick. I'm like, who the hell gives a shit about a website to get mortgage rates? He's like, nah, it's more than that. Oh wait, I think we just lost each other.
No. I'm still here. I'm gonna show them a little thing on Baidu. So keep going on your Supercom.
Yeah, so he's telling me, it's I don't like the fact that it doesn't have options, and it's a very thin traded stock, and it's an Israeli company. But I did well with the Israeli stocks, the Mobileye and something else. By the way, here goes your Tesla short.
I see it. I'm watching.
Yeah, 235.50 was the spot. So yep. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the action for the rest of the week. I mean, I think this is one. I think this Tesla is going to be Tesla and this price line are going to be, some places I can catch some juice here before the earnings season is done, and I feel like we just go fucking stale for like 2 months, which is gonna kill me. But maybe this will give me more time to mess around on the tennis courts and enjoy my summer. Actually, I haven't been to the fucking beach in like years, man. I haven't even fucking left this damn computer, and the market, which runs my fucking life. So fuck this market, right? And then I can just have a summer and come back in August.
Well, you got a built-in tan, so you don't need to go to the beach too much, right?
Oh, see, it's not about the tan. It's not about the tan, man. See, I'm a single man, It's a single man. It's a bit like Cinco de Mayo every day, bro.
I forget that wavelength. Oh, that's right. You want to go out and like meet people, yeah. I just get drunk. I'll just get drunk with the CNBC crew. What's up, Josh Brown? Thanks for shouting me out today. He's one of the good guys. Anybody that's and his little enclave, a bunch of good guys. We've had some fun. I still have some like videos of one night we went out with it was John Malloy used to be the producer of Fast Money. We went out and did karaoke, man. Man.
Where, in Koreatown? In Koreatown?
Yeah, in Koreatown. St. Mark's Place. I got them all I got him doing Borderline by Madonna. I got blackmail for life. But
oh my God.
We go out quite a bit, but I think we'll probably see each other at one of those next Stock Twits meetups or whatnot. I heard Tasty Trade's getting a meetup group together also. That should be fun.
I'm not surprised. I'm sure. They got a big group.
Yeah. Oh, I think I lost you again. Anyway, yeah, Tesla's fighting here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just bounced off the VWAP. I mean, I love it. These computers run the whole game. But yeah, that's what I got on now. I got SRPT on. I got the SPCB. I bought Alcoa back when it finally stopped going down. I'm in there again from 13. But not much, my biggest position really is the naked calls on the Qs right now. And if I was around, I would have shorted the shit out of that UVXY. It hit 1150 to the penny. That thing, no matter what the market's doing, this thing craters. 95% of the time, it craters into the close. It's just a busted product.
No doubt. All right, man. So we got a couple of questions here on Twitter. Eric Mikas here, EHM Investments. With SPY, we were saying the say thing about the top last May. I don't know if he's speaking English right now. If you pull up a chart from 2014, look to reverse, never happened. I think he's talking about the sell in May kind of thing. So let's talk about that real quick. I mean, what happened in 2014? Did we sell in May? We never sold in May. We just held up. Yeah, we just kept cruising and everything. But I feel like the market is in a different environment right now, a completely different environment right now. And I think more so than that, like there's a lot of longs that still need to be washed out to me. If this market is going to go higher, there still needs to be a lot more longs that get washed out. So I think this May is going to be a little bit different, but I also think it's going to be shitty. I also think it's going to be, really dry, really choppy, and hence why Kenny was saying, look towards a more selling strategy. That way, you're not sitting there roped into puts that you need a big move here in order to make some money on these things. You know what I mean? You can easily sell some calls, which is just a much better way of going about it, much easier way of going about it.
Yeah, I mean, I just, you know, I'm not haven't sold any in the money calls because I don't, you know, then you just might as well go short the stock. But yeah, I'm just gonna play this range until whatever this is that we're in right now resolves itself. And listen, we've been going up for 5 straight years. We're allowed to have a flat year, maybe even down 2 or 3%. I know. It's fucking nuts to think about the market not going up.
Right. Remember, like 6 years. We've been doing this shit 6 years. It's been 6 years, 6, 7 years or whatever that we've been going straight up, you know? 1 year of chilling out is really not that out of a question. We got another comment here about them walking me through this Baidu trade. Kenny, we hit this Baidu like really well over the last couple of days, and I think what it was just kind of looking at the fact that she couldn't break down 202.5, and on the tape, every time you saw 202.5, you get a big buy off of it. Every time she got to 220, they'd sell right down. So you get this big range. All of a sudden, like pre-earnings, everybody started piling in, especially to the call side. And then once this thing opened back down to like 210, that was it. The tape, there was no buyers at all. There was no buyers whatsoever anymore on that fucking tape. So we day traded it on that first day, waited for the rip, and then caught this whole move down. So, you know, it was really some good timing. And now Baidu is in a completely different trend. You know, this thing is now trending down, I would say. And all these rallies here, you can just go ahead and sell some freaking calls and just book some quick profits, book some clean profits, you know?
Yeah. The Baidu is one of the more scary stocks out there because this stock, you know, again, my conspiracy after the market crashed and China lent us all the money to pull us out of the depression and whatnot, and Baidu was off to the races. You know, Baidu it's a 10-for-1 split. If you guys don't know, the stock is basically gone from $100 to $2,225 in 5 years. Splitting the stock was the greatest thing they could have done that preserved their, you know. So now it's not going to probably fall half. If it was still a $2,200 stock, you know, it's a lot more fun to trade, I'm sure, on the stocks. But I was under the impression that it was a Chinese government, just like I think the United States government controls the stock market now. Baidu was controlled by the Chinese government, and they made a deal with America. Let's run our stock 200,000%, and we won't ask for the money that you owe us for an extra 5 years. And that's what they did. I mean, the stock was going
we should do a whole other segment on Kenny Glick's conspiracy fucking thing.
I got the book.
You know what I'm saying?
Where do you want to begin? Oh my God,
dude! And then we'll have you like Mel Gibson in Conspiracy Theory, just fucked up individual, just running around, just being unable to just think of shit.
When I'm locked away in a cell, I'm gonna be just screaming the word conspiracy. High frequency trading. Yeah, it's all bullshit. But Baidu, that's why I was deathly afraid. And you see how that chart you showed? You see how they suckered everybody into the last moment?
Yes.
Drop it on its head.
Yes.
That's vicious. And now that's what scares me about this market. It seems like they're suckering us in, you know, because we're so used to the market coming back every time. I think I'm going to go.
It had to happen at some time. It had to happen at some time. I am in total agreement here. And folks, whether you're in agreement or not, it's fine. But you still got to look at the price action. You still got to look at the price action. So you can be blind and start continuing to buy these dips and everything, especially the Apple fuckboys out there and the Tesla fuckboys out there and everybody who wants to be a fanboy to a lot of these names, Facebook especially as well. But you can't deny the price action. You can't deny what's happening right now, and that's not us talking out of our ass. That's actual bid ask in transactions here that are going off every single day. So you really got to look at these and reassess. Like, hey, you know, is this going to be a tough road for me if I pick this whole dip buy strategy now? You know, that we're sort of coming so close to a possible end to this.
Right. I to me, you know, the NQ futures is the QQQ. I see another 120, 130 points to the downside easy. And if that doesn't hold this time, those recent lows, the ones that we had on the beginning of
it was October, right? Was it October?
No, we're talking about the 3rd.
Oh, you're talking about right here. Okay, yeah.
April 3rd. April 3rd.
Right.
So like a month ago. I think we got to test those levels, and if they don't hold up, then we're going down. I got 41, 4160 as an area of interest to me. So that's 220 points from here. That gets us back down to, I think, let me see, if I equate that to the Qs, we're talking about $100, 175. So 6 more points down on the Qs, washed everybody out. Next thing you know, we'll be talking Santa Claus rally, or it will be, if the selling May happens to work out this time, and we do have that sell-off, then we'll have a quiet, June. We'll sift through the rubble. Next thing you know, July will start to stabilize, and then everybody will start talking about how nervous they are about September and October, and then we'll squeeze the shit out of the market. We'll be talking about the Santa Claus rally in January effect. Next thing you know, the market will be up or down.
Yep, and the next thing you know, we'll be in the year 2016, and your life will be even more worthless, okay? Just so you know. All right, Kenny, let's wrap it up here. You got any last words for everybody?
Last words is, even though a trade goes against you, doesn't make you wrong. That's what's difficult about this market right now. They seem to be, the chop is excessive. It brings it to the point where you feel, all right, I can't let this get any worse. It gets you out, and then it reverts back. Yes. Smaller size and stay convicted unless, it completely reverses against you. Somebody asked me, when do we sell oil? When do we sell oil? I'm like, sell oil? I'm like, let it have one down day before you want to get, short of oil. Guys screaming about DWTI, which is another psychopathic stock I learned about this week. DWTI. Not a fan. I don't give a shit what it does.
It is 3 times inventory. This is 3 times. I don't even know what the fuck this thing is.
Oh my god, dude! It was 58. My friend's getting lit up on it.
Yeah.
And by the time I get off the phone with him, he's like, "Dude, it's at 61 now." I'm like, I don't want to know.
Yeah, actually, and then another thing I wanted to get your opinion on is what do you think about this the China rally? Actually, let's hit this one because it has done a lot since we talked about it before. Like, I know you watched the Yokus of the world, and the Cena, I believe, is another name that you watch pretty aggressively. Do you think, like, China here? Do you think money is moving to some of the China names? And does money sort of go to the global markets versus stay in the U.S. here?
We'll go back to the Baidu. If Baidu is weak, I'm just going to say China weak because that's king. Only other stock I like, I don't like anything China really, but I like that Cena. I mean, I sold out of it, blew out of it perfectly on Friday. Yeah. There's something going on with that stock. It's been really, really strong compared to the market. Friday came in a little bit, but I kind of like that. And I'm just going to keep an eye on it. But if Baidu is weak, and again, I want to give a shout out to one of the haters that he just abuses me on YouTube.
Oh man, just hide that motherfucker, man. Block that motherfucker.
I see the market. A lot of my videos, I talk about how the market's never going down because the government owns it. Hey, listen, I've been right for 6 years now.
6 years, yeah.
You criticized me about one video, but I was talking about the Baidu and how it's controlled by the Chinese government, and he was like, "This is the most worthless stock in the world." Kudos to you, dude. I know you were shorting that shit at 225. Well played, bro. See?
Yeah.
I give credit where there's credit due. As soon as you start calling me a criminal and you start making up trades and posting them on my YouTube channel like I did these trades, I have no problem. Maybe go back and watch the other videos. I have no problem admitting when I do something stupid and I lose money. But if you're going to make shit up, asshead, then I gotta ban you. I've never banned anybody from my YouTube channel ever. It's just when he started calling me a criminal and then I'm lying about my trades. Bro, you can't get this angry when it's just mind blowing. And I let him get to me a little bit. I know he's watching because he hates you too, by the way.
He hates me too, of course. And I get this all the time. And dude, like it really hit me, I think, in 2000. I think it was like 2014 or something, 2013. Like I went on a crazy run, pulled in like 2 mil, and I fucking went on just a travesty of a stretch where it just got to me. Twitter got to me. Everybody just got to me. It was like everything that I did, everything that I posted, somebody had a fucking comment about, And imagine you have that person in your life saying those things to you on a daily basis. Like, let's say it was your father, or let's say it was your wife, whatever. Like, you would really have an issue with this fucking person. You know what I mean? Right. And it would really get in your head and all that kind of stuff. So to anybody that says, like to social media like it doesn't matter and you don't care about it or you don't think about it, you're fucking bullshitting. You're fucking lying, because it does have an impact.
Right.
It does have an impact.
You can't just go ahead and say, if anybody joins this guy's website, he's a scam artist, he's just going to steal your money. It's completely false.
Right.
I have not had a complaint. I've been doing this for 7 years with the live website and the mentorship program. Not one complaint, buddy, except you anonymous dickbag on the internet who wants to make shit up and claim that I'm doing all these bad trades. I mean, dude, I've got enough bad trades that I take ownership of them.
No doubt.
But when you start perpetuating lies about me,
no doubt.
And grow up. Because I liked the guy at first. He was giving ideas, but then he crossed the line with the criminality. Again, that's libel and slander and all that other bullshit.
Yeah, man, no doubt. All right, so we'll end it there. To all the what do they call them now? The trolls. To all the trolls out there, I mean, we love you. We love you at the same. You know what I mean? We hate you, but we love you at the same time. It is what it is. That's the world we live in, and social media is only going to get worse and fucking worse and fucking worse until something horrible happens. So whatever that is, I don't know what it is.
The bubble might have burst. I mean, that's another thing about this market. Just to wrap it up.
Sure.
We're seeing loss of leadership.
Yes.
We've had this moment before.
Yes.
When I sit there, I'm like, we've lost the Apple momentum. We lost the Baidu China.
Yes.
We've lost social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Where is this market going to rally? How is it going to rally? And we've said this a dozen times.
Yes.
In the last 5 years, and suddenly everything just rallies.
Everything just fucking rallies. All right, so stay tuned. Next week, it could be a completely different story. Kenny and I are traders here. We are not bound, by these sort of rules and these bias ideas, concepts, and things like that. Be sure you stay quick, stay nimble, stay on your feet. You know what I mean? Hop in and out of these things. Be able to change your bias instantly. You're going to need to do that for the next 3 or 4 friggin' months until we get some serious juice either way. Right. All right, so we're closing out here. Kenny, I'll see you next week, man.
All right, man.
I'm going to be in the city, I think, this weekend for next week too, so I might be in the city for the whole shebang, so you might have to get your ass out to the office next week too.
Next week I can get there. Yeah, not this week.
All right.
I'm busting out the boat doing some fishing. Hopefully there's some fish.
No doubt. All right, Kenny, take care, man, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Hey guys, be safe. Later.